but I was tagged in a particular video more times than I'd like to count. And it is MJ Harris. Do you know who MJ Harris is?
I do, and I did go ahead and check the video out before hopping on. Yes.
So MJ Harris is a lot. The the
Mm.
girl exhausts me. But we have to respond to this because I was tagged in it so many times. MJ Harris recently posted to his YouTube channel 5 toxic types to never date. He says never date these type of men or people because he's talking to a very mixed crowd.
Mm.
But the girl makes me tired when I listen to her. I don't want to date shame her because she has a very public dating life that I do not appreciate.
I saw
But
those
the
scandals.
but the content is I have opinions. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so the first type of toxic person that MJ talks about is, check this out.
The first type of person that you should absolutely never date, don't give them your time, don't even lay down with them, all right? I'm telling you this right now, because sometimes that get into your head. Y'all be laying down and that hypnotizes you, and the next thing you know, you caught up in a love spell that you ain't never supposed to be in. But listen, all right? The first type of person you should absolutely never date, I call them Mr. Emotionally Unavailable, okay? That man or that woman, for that matter, that type of person where they are just not emotionally available. When you try to talk with them about future plans for a relationship or something like that, this person changes the subject. This person don't never want to talk about titles. This person just seems to be emotionally disconnected.
So the question I have for you, Philaye,
Mm.
what does emotional availability look like to you?
I think that he did say it well in a sense that, like, when you're emotionally unavailable, someone may try to talk about something a little deeper, go a little deeper about maybe you all or something about dating, and then you kind of just like ignore it and just kind of not um necessarily go as deep in. And yeah, so but sometimes you only do that some of the time. And so I think that with some of the other points he made in the video, it'll bring up some additional things. But yeah, I would say that that was true, that not wanting to talk about those things and wanting to just like go with the flow, just vibe, just kind of me, is, yeah, emotional unavailability.
Are you emotionally unavailable?
So I'm very emotionally available for friends, and I really believe in, when dating, like, whoever I am with, automatically we're going to need to really have a very good friendship anyway. So I'm very emotionally available for friendship. And so the guy who, I've been getting to know, he knows, that hey, when it comes to the friendship end, absolutely we can go as deep as the ocean goes down. But when it comes to the relationship stuff, that's where I'm not as emotionally available. If something more vulnerable is said, or if certain things are said, I might, pause for a couple seconds and just, try to figure out. But honestly, he understands. Like, he gets where I'm at, my face, he just understands. So,
Okay. I mean, again, I think this particular point is kind of universal. Nobody wants to date somebody who's emotionally unavailable. That doesn't make
right,
sense. Like, you don't want to build an
right.
emotional connection with somebody who ain't available to it. I I ain't got no notes on this one, but let's go to the next one.
The next type of person that you should absolutely never date, I call them Dr. Feelgood, okay? The kind of person where literally they only tell you things you want to hear.
So this
Dr. Feel
one,
Good.
yeah, I definitely do agree with that one existing, because I feel like a lot of the times when you get into a relationship, like the one that I was in the past, we got together the day that we met. So, it was kind of that thing where, of course, we were selling whatever
Oh, y'all was
dream of
like
each
some
other.
lesbians.
We were lesbians. We were college
Y'all was
lesbians.
like
And
some
so
lesbians.
we were. It was just so crazy. It was just very young and spontaneous. And because I was technically DL, but then we kind of came out together. It was a lot. So yeah, I do. think that it's possible to, in the beginning, feel like everything is what you want to hear. So that is something I'm a little careful of now. Like, even in the situation, for example, I honestly do feel like a lot of the time I am hearing what I want to hear. So that does partly almost make you like, but no, I think
But
that
don't
with the
you want somebody? But don't you want somebody to gas you up?
no, I'm saying it gives you that little thing that's like, but remember, I did say I really do like nice people, and I can't date somebody who's like mean to me. That's not something that, just because my family, just whatever childhood trauma, all that, like I can't really deal with that. So I appreciate it, honestly. It's like, damn, here you go saying all the right shit again. Like, fuck. So yeah. Every single day, it's just like, damn, again. So yeah.
Okay, so I want to know from everybody in the comments: do you want somebody who gasses you up, or do you want somebody a little more? I don't want to say abrasive, because nobody wants anybody abrasive, do they?
I definitely want someone who gas me up. That's absolutely a requirement because I'm gonna gas them up. So we got to have that equal thing because I'm gonna give you the same thing. Shoot.
This comment says, but there's a difference between a person who gasses you up versus a person who doesn't hold you accountable when you're wrong. I do agree with that.
I agree with that. And that's why actually it's funny because I was in a conflict with family back in December. And I remember I was like trying to talk him through it. And he heard one of the details wrong. So when I found that out like a couple days later, I'm like, you were supporting me through this, but if you thought the detail was this, I was definitely in the wrong. So I actually was like kind of upset because I'm like, dang, I care about your advice. Like, although you're positive most of the time, like I want to know that you're going to tell me if I am wrong and if I am making a big mistake for my life. Cause I don't want to be led down the wrong path. Now you done yes manned me right into my grave. Like, so yeah.
Okay, I get that. This one says, gas me up, but don't gaslight me. Now, I've done talked about that on my podcast many times about how I used to gaslight my ex. I am guilty of that. I owned it. I have apologized. I've told him about it. So I was guilty. Was past tense. Nah.
We're not gonna hold it against you. Shoot.
This one says, I want it all. But I do think it's important. I think one thing you said was you do want someone to gas you up, but also be able to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. I agree fully with that. But I don't like how he characterized people who Dr. Feelgood, where all you tell me is good shit. If I'm a dope ass person, I expect to hear good shit all the time.
Right. I think it could have been better worded, like basically someone who's like not honest and is just gonna like tell you whatever you want to hear. Yeah, because I think feel good is good. Honestly, who don't want to feel good? I think that.
Why would I get with somebody who don't make me feel good?
I think that's true that the wording could have been a little different. Yeah, because it's all about honesty. Like if you're being honest in your good vibes, hell, do them, but just don't fake it and then cause a situation like
that. I'm here for that. Let's go to number 3.
Let's do
it. The next type of person you absolutely don't want to deal with, I call them Mr. Mixed Signals or Miss Mixed Signals. You call it whatever you want, baby. It's the same thing. I'm talking about that person where they are hot and cold. One day they texting you all day, sending you sweet nothings and all that other stuff. They want to spend time with you. You Netflixing and chilling with them. And then the next day, the next week, you don't hear from them.
I've been there before.
On which end?
Both, probably. Yeah.
You sent mixed signals?
Yeah. Because I go on how I feel in the moment. I'm a Cancer, I'm a water sign. So I really go on how I feel, but unfortunately how I feel drastically changes. So yeah. And especially like when I was in the relationship and trying to get out of it, it's like we would be on maybe a little break, unofficially or officially, and I would be almost trying to fall in love with some other guy so I could feel comfortable leaving the relationship. But then I'm like, oh shoot, I love my man. So then I cut that guy off and he's writing me a letter while I'm trying to make it work with my guy while he's having a situation. So yeah, I say I could send mixed signals because the signal, it just changes. They said don't put it on water signs. Fine, I'll take that back. Hell, it's just me, I go on how I feel in the moment. But yeah.
So I will say I've been people have told me that I send mixed signals, but that's just because I suck at texting.
Yeah, and that definitely can just be the case too. Like sometimes it's not even that I'm meaning to send a mixed whatever. You know, life is busy, shit. So
Life do get busy,
oh, here
but
goes.
even when I'm just sitting at home doing nothing, I just suck at texting. I am not a I ain't gonna be the one to have a whole conversation with you via text because you want to talk to me 8 hours of my 8 hour workday. Like
That's real.
I'll call you when we get off of work and I'll talk your head off on a FaceTime, but I ain't gonna text you all day. And people interpret that as mixed signals.
Yeah, as an adult, I don't really like to just text all day either. It's like while we on the phone or in person, cool, but like I'm just not really in that like just oh I need to be all giddy like text you all day oh hearts and kisses like it's just not really the phase I'm in. But maybe if I'm all the way in the situation, I would feel differently and just want to like do that. But yeah.
Now, full disclosure, MJ was talking about mixed signals as in they want to do boyfriend girlfriend relationship stuff but don't want the boyfriend girlfriend relationship title. That's what he was talking about, or that's how he
Oh,
explained it.
so I have made a mistake and done that before. Like you're feeling all like emotional or whatever in the moment or whatever it is, and you blurt out that I love you, and then it's just like this was definitely too soon for that. But you just feel how you feel. I do sometimes just go on how I feel and just have fun. So
Now I think that is water sign shit. That right there is some water sign shit right there.
sometimes you just gotta like really be in the moment. Like if you feel it in that moment, say it. But yeah, that's a problem though. So yeah, I try my best not to.
You was probably putting something on somebody way too good, or maybe they were putting it on you too good, and you just like, I love you.
It just be like
Maybe.
it just be a good mutual moment, and then you just push forward.
I could assume so many things about that, but we won't right now. Not right now. Let's keep going. So the fifth one, this is the fifth and last one that MJ talked about.
The final one, and there's more, feel free to comment below if you got some other ones, is Mr. Breadcrumbs. You know what breadcrumbs are? How someone drops breadcrumbs to make you follow them. If you're trying to lead an animal somewhere, you drop breadcrumbs. Mr. Breadcrumbs. They lead you on. Every time it feels like you pulling away, they try to pull you in with something more. Baby, I'm so sorry. Can I take you out? Can I do this for you? Can I do that?
Yeah, that one's not me. That's doing too much. Cause I'm not like I'm honest enough to like at any phase. Look, if I want a relationship right now, you'll know. If that's not what I'm going for, you'll know. So that one seems a little bit more drastic. Like yeah, or maybe it was just the video he used. Like I was just getting toxic straight man, like doing certain things that I'm like, okay, maybe I don't do those. But yeah, because I'm like a friend to who I date with. I'm not gonna be trying to treat you like that. If we're really dating, I'm not gonna be trying to give you breadcrumbs and make you struggle. Like if I like you, I'm gonna like you.
I think that I think I'm in the same boat. If I like you, I'm gonna like you. But I also acknowledge that I have been breadcrumbed in my past. Somebody who liked me, but wanted to maintain their freedom, their autonomy, their disconnection. And the second that I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do me, they like, but you acting funny. Why you moving different? And why you ain't call me? And I'm like, bro, because we're not there. This is not the thing that we're doing.
Right. That's
Like
real. I've
have me
had that
looking like
happen in
Boo
the
Boo the
past too.
Fool.
Like when I first started talking to guys, I remember I was just so confused. Like I liked this one guy so much, and I'm like, why won't he just like be as consistent and want a relationship? But I had a whole girlfriend, so I guess it was hard to like fully go all the way with me. So I felt so offended. I felt so attacked. I'm like, we seem to really enjoy each other. Like, why aren't we going all the way there? Meanwhile, I'm like not even still in a relationship. So I had that
In a
happen.
whole relationship.
Like, what about?
But I will say that what we do when we're younger, we can't be helped. We
Oh
can learn
no,
from it, but we can't hold that against somebody. Like if I was fucked up in my 20s,
Yeah,
then
I
okay.
agree because I mean I am not even I'm not shy about the fact that yeah I've had my own share of experiences. That's like yeah those type of young experiences or dating experiences where you're like okay well gotta learn from this and be honest with ourselves and
Yes.
I'm maturing. I'm real with myself and the people I date. Like I'm not even afraid to tell them hey like this is who I am. This is my story. What's up? So and they're the same way. So. That's just how I roll.
Well, again, I think that was another one of those that is like universal. Like breadcrumbing somebody, as he explains it, is not cool. But I have been guilty of it in my younger years. But then I've also been on the receiving end.